All right, hello, and welcome to episode 95 of the Jazzy Conversations with Jazz podcast. As you know, I am your host, Jasmar Jazz Bennett, mother, educator, educational leader, host, and all those good things. And I want to go ahead and welcome you to this episode. I do have a special guest that I am going to thank you guys so much for tuning in, for joining us. Cameron, thank you so much for coming on again. I do want to again, before we started, I did, do a moment of silence to all of those involved in the September 11th attack that we had in our nation, and we did a moment of silence. And I was just saying that I know that you can remember, your place and time of where you were, what you were doing when those tragic events struck in our country. And so, I would be remiss without acknowledging that point in our history, and I just wanted to give reference to that. But I also want to just tell you that I am excited for this particular episode. If it doesn't work here on IG, then we're going to head over to Facebook. We're just going to have to head over to Facebook, or I may go live on YouTube. So I'm going to send you another request, Colin. It says you are unable to join, but I'm not sure why it's saying you're unable to join. So I know you're on your cell phone, you're on your iPhone. I think that's you. What did you do? You want to tell me what the magic was? What did you do?
Nothing. I don't know nothing.
Listen, check your, what time does it say it is, like exactly right now?
7:14.
7:14. So that doesn't mean anything to me. So I was like, normally when stuff like that happens, I'm like, okay, well, let's look at the time. Let's see what time it is, because maybe it's something that would resonate with me, but it does not.
Yeah.
So how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, so I'm elated. I'm elated. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you, because I know it's people there that absolutely know you, because they are following you with over 15,000 viewers and followers that you have on Facebook, and your numbers are growing, your stats are growing here on Instagram and on podcast platforms. You're doing everything that you told me you were going to do a year ago.
Yeah.
Actually, in November, it'll be a year ago since you were on my first episode of my podcast. So my special guest for tonight is none other than Mr. Colin R. Moore. And Colin definitely is a man of God. Colin is someone, who's a light person. I always call him my light person. I called you my light person on my very first episode, and I've always called you that. And so not only are you a man of God, you are a husband, you are a father to 3 beautiful kids. One of them I feel like I need some alone time with, because I feel like I don't know your last baby, and I don't like that. Okay, I'm just letting you guys think I saw him one time in the grocery store. So we gotta bond. So I know we have Thanksgiving and Christmas and all of that. So I can't wait to bond. But you are also an author and a motivational speaker, and of course you are the co-host and co-founder of the Life in Football podcast. And I am so elated to have you. And so thank you so much for agreeing to be on my podcast.
You know it. You know it.
You know it.
Yeah, you know it. You know where it's going down.
So thank you. Listen, I went back and I reviewed our very first podcast, and I looked at, listened to the content, and I listened to where your trajectory was then and then where you are now. And when I did that, I just started reflecting, and I'm like, wow, like Colin, you've always had this want and desire to be an entrepreneur, to have your own. You've always had this mentality of thinking of what's next, like what's the next big thing, like what's something that I can gravitate towards, that I actually love, that I'm passionate about. And then you stated that you came to the revelation that it was football, but it was brought to you by your best friend that said, hey, let's start a podcast. And you just said, hey, all right, let's do it. And so you guys started it in 2018. You came out, swinging, starting it from your phone, and then, it moved into you guys doing pre-production for
Right.
the podcast. You have your theme song.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
have you have your apparel now.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are doing big things. And three things that you mentioned on that first episode with me is you mentioned focusing in on God, like asking God what you should do.
Right.
You honed in on being
Right.
consistent, being consistent in whatever it is that you do.
Right.
And then you also honed in on focusing on your plan, because you have to have a plan for what it is that you are trying to do. So has that formula held up for you?
It did at the back end of December 22. That's when everything started shifting for me. It started when I said, you know what, Lord, I got to read the Bible going into this new year. And me and my business partner, we kept talking about it. We was like, man, uh, everybody always say, I'm gonna read the Bible, I'm gonna read the Bible. By middle of January or February, you ain't touching that Bible no more. You letting the whole year slide. So initially, I was reading the Bible at the back end of November. Then my son was born that January. And then I think we did a year because he's about to be 2. So we did a year. And then right at the end of the 22, I said, you know what? I got to get back into my Bible. Because if I don't get back into my Bible, when will I actually touch this Bible and make something shape? So I was like, Lord, bless me to get a Bible plan and stick to it. And then one day I was riding, and Robert Chun be kicking it with me. That's my like a brother, like he my brother and business partner. And then Michael Figure's my business partner. Well, so we get to the end of that year, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna start fasting. I kind of fasted in September and October. And when I fasted, I only did like 2 days, but I would drink. I think I did 2 days without anything. Then the next day, I got a smoothie from like a strawberry and pineapple smoothie from Tropical Smoothie. All right, boom. So that kind of tested. I got my feet wet with how the fasting go. But I was doing it, but I had a purpose, but I really didn't have like a main purpose.
Yeah.
And then um, what happened was we got, like I said, the end of that year, and I said, okay, let me get for real with this fasting. I turned on Miles Monroe. And Miles Monroe, I was listening to his sermons, and they were good. But when I listened to this one sermon that he had about fasting, I said, let me dive into it. Man, this man talked about how fasting pretty much changed his whole life.
Wow.
So I was like, he said, you can pray and you can ask God to bless you, but sometimes your message be so clogged up, it can't really get to God like that. He may or may not answer that, but he said with fasting, you guarantee that God gonna answer. And I was like, whoa, you guarantee that he gonna answer. So I said, all right, I'm gonna start fasting. So I did my first fast, and it lasted like 7 days. Ooh, I wanted to eat, but I did it, and I made it through. Do you know, like immediately after that, I think, because we did it right after Thanksgiving. Immediately after that, Coach Prime had got hired by Colorado. I don't even know why I was thinking about that. He got hired by Colorado. Few days into that, Desi Banks posted a picture saying, hey, Coach Prime, I'm committed, baby. We coming. I'm coming to you. And something clicked in my mind. I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go hurry up, because I looked to see how soon he had did it. I said, oh, okay, he just did it. All right, let me get my idea out before somebody else think what I'm thinking, and they get it out and beat me to it. So I made a video. I said, I just talked about this, man. I say, this player right here, Coach Prime, just got committed. This is Desi Banks, right out of Atlanta, y'all, Atlanta, Georgia. He liked that. He'll ball that wide receiver. And I was just juicing him up, right? But he was good on his highlight film. So I'm juicing up his highlight film. And I say, he done committed to Coach Prime. Coach Prime, you got a baller, baby. You don't need no NIL money with him because the boy already got money. So I posted.
Yeah.
Man, I posted it up under his Twitter page, and then I posted up on YouTube. That oh, I said, oh Lord, oh Lord, I ain't never had no views like that before. So
Yeah.
I said, all right, let me run that back. So the next day I said, man, what can I do to beat that? Then I said, okay,
Yeah.
you know that boy, you ever heard of that guy named Destroying? He went to UCF. He tried to get money from YouTube. Well, he was getting money from YouTube. But Central Florida was like, and the NCAA was like, if you take money from YouTube, you can't have a scholarship. So my boy said, forget that. I'm going to take the money. So he took the money. And when he took the money, I was like, and then his stuff started taking off like a rocket. And then UCF was real good that year, and his stuff skyrocketed. So I said, what if I do one on Destroying, saying he committed? I did one on him. That thing almost had 300,000 views. So I said, oh my goodness. I say, Lord, you about to have me monetized. Oh, this is a whole new level. So I'm like, okay, all right. I say, Lord, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one more video about Coach Prime. When I make this video about Coach Prime, this will let me know, should I talk about Coach Prime every day, or this kind of like a fluke? Made that video, man, that jump took off like a rocket. Boom. I say, well, that's all she wrote. I'm talking about Coach Prime every single day. And I done talked about Coach Prime in Colorado every day since that Desert Banks video. Every single day. When I tell you, man, my whole life been changing. And it all started because I started fasting. Because I was already doing tithing and offering. But again, when it was distractions that I would entertain. And I still kind of entertained them, but after a while I started cutting them off because I seen my blessings just rising. So I said, ooh, I don't want no distractions. Let me get that mess out the way. So I was only entertaining only blessings. If it's not a blessing, I don't entertain it. You can't come to me with nothing negative. You can't come to me that with nothing that's in a positive manner that's basically letting everybody know, hey, I'm rocking with the G.O.D. If you come with anything other than rocking with the G.O.D., I'm going to cut it off. Because I ain't missing not one blessing messing around. So everything just started taking off. I'm talking about I'm doing the videos. And they just shooting. And then by January the 13th, YouTube had sent me a link saying, hey, you want to become a business partner with us? And I'm like, what? Yes. Let me monetize. So after we monetized, man, it was all she wrote. I was on that thing every single day. That's when, remember I told you about being consistent? Man, I had started hitting it up so good. Then I remember Lance called me. Lance was like, Colin, you need to go live. I was scared to go live. I don't know why I was scared to go live. I love the camera. I love talking. So I want to see me shine. So let's get over here and do it. So before I know it, man, I jump out there on live one day on YouTube, and I jumped on live. It was 0 people on. I left it for a couple seconds, 0 people on. I cut it out. Whoop. I called Lance. I say, bro, I went on live. Ain't nothing pop. He said, you got to just do it. All right. And I tried it at the end of February. On February 24th, I went live and I said, I'm going to stay on there regardless of who get on. Whether it's 1 person, 2 people, or none, I'm finna just talk. Man, I got on there, and ever since that day, right after I got on there that day, Lance and Tony Gaskins, Lance Leggett that on Taste One Boy Peanuts, which is Peanuts Firepower. I love him.
Fire.
And then Tony
he's
Gaskins.
Also, he's been a guest on my podcast too. Trying to get Tony.
See? Yeah, now I tell him. So hit Tony and Lance watch my live. So after I got off my live, they were like, bro, you got something. You special at this, boy. You better lock in. So I was gonna do it every Friday. Then Tony was like, nah, bro. Friday, this, that. We was trying to figure out which day is a good day. Then he said, you know what? Go every night at 9 o'clock. So I started going every night at 9 o'clock. One day I woke up early in the morning. I said, oh, I need to do it on lunch break. So I started doing lunch break. Then I said, oh, not only lunch break, I need to do it coming right and back again by about 4 o'clock, come back again at about 6:30. I said, man, I'm going to be on live so much. I don't even know what made me do it. But I was on live so much that it's just the people and me, we just became family. Like, when I get on live, that's my family. I got some ones that I know a lot of them that been with me since day one that I went live. And we've been rocking ever since. So, man, I would tell anybody, the real change in my life And my wife say, make sure you tell them this will happen. Don't just tell them how your YouTube took off. Tell them where it started. And how it started was I started fasting. And when I started fasting and praying, I went to praying more. I prayed about 3 times that day, each day of my 7-day fast. But then it sometimes turned into just 2 times. But I'm praying, getting the prayers out, getting the prayers out, getting the prayers out. Read the word, read the word, read the word. Now that word getting stuck in me. And now I'm fasting. And man, God answered it right then and there. Boom. Took off.
Yeah.
And it ain't been, it's been excelling ever since. Ever since.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, because like I said, like the first time that we talked on this particular podcast, on my podcast, you know, like I said, listening to what you're saying now versus listening to what you said the formula was back then, and the part of your formula that is still there, all of them are still there. But the God thing, because Colin, I'm gonna tell you, like when you came on my podcast, you know, you said to me, you was like, Jazz, your day one, you know, starting your podcast day one is where we are trying to go. And so like I kept replaying that part over and over and over. And it's like when you said that, it even resonated with me. And then I just look at how, you know, you said that, but along the way, I feel like Colin, if y'all don't ever talk to Colin like one-on-one with, I know if you are following him, you feel like he's your personal coach. Anyway, man, that is so God.
Yeah.
That is so God to me, because it's like the things that you say to people, the way that you make people feel, like you cannot fake that, you know, and I'm one of the people that it's kind of hard to penetrate, but I know you know, your family. So it's just like you speaking life into me. I just want to just thank you for that, because it's like, it's nothing that is going on for you that you are not willing to share. It's like I can call you. Actually, I'm not even gonna say I could call you. You call me, and it'll be so random. I'm like, what is this dude talking about now? Like you'll call me or you'll text me.
Yeah.
This dude called me. You could tell he was working out. This dude called me. Yeah. Here's what I want you to do, Jack. I don't care what it is. If it's just 10 minutes a day, start off at 10 minutes a day. And if it's 30 minutes a day, you talking about right now, what I'm doing is I'm getting in my mile. Like every single day, I run a mile. That's what I do, Jazz. So whatever you do, I don't care if it's 30 minutes, just be consistent. And that was the conversation. I'm like, why did he call me?
I don't even know how I thought about you, but I did. I remember that.
So I'm gonna tell you now, because I was going through, it wasn't anything like health related with my heart or anything like that, because actually that's what, you know, my numbers were really good with that. But it's like when you said that to me, I don't know, it was like oh my God, if Colin said it, then I have to do it. So I started walking every day, and I would do my lives or whatever, and I backslid, I wasn't consistent. But it's like when you said that, like I started thinking clearer or whatever, then it's like I get a text from you. And it's like, you text me first because you were like, are you on YouTube yet? And I'm like, I have a YouTube channel somewhere. Like it's buried somewhere. Like, Colin, I do have a YouTube channel. I'm like, dang, like, what is this dude? Like, what is he trying to do? And it's like, you know, he was like, I'm telling you, Jazz, you need to get on this YouTube. So that's all you said. Then it's like, you called me one day and you was like, Jazz, I just got my first check from YouTube. You on YouTube yet? Like, you just need to jump on YouTube. Just be consistent with that thing. Just I'm talking about, like, when I say motivational speaker, when I say coach, when I say light person, Colin, you just have that. You have that, and you make people feel so good, and you make people feel that they can do it. Like, even if it's people who are, hell, I went to school for journalism, and it's like, look at what you were doing. Like, you pick up your phone and you pick up, you know, just whatever it is when it, you know, like now hearing you is like when the spirit leaves you, or whenever, you know, in your mind, it's like, this is what I have to do. And it's like, you are truly a living testament to what hard work, what belief, what God, what just staying consistent can do. And so I'm telling you, when I saw that video with you and Coach Prime, because I was confused, because I'm like, why is Colin talking about Coach Prime all of a sudden? Like, I know his love is for football. Like, I know that. And I don't think I've ever asked you who your favorite player was. So I was just like, Colin is talking about Coach Prime every single day. So I subscribe to Life of Football on YouTube.
Yeah.
I hit the notifications bell. So it's like, oh, I know you go live every night at 9 o'clock because I get notifications.
Right.
So I'm
hitting
like, right. I can't miss it. So I'm like, so I'm looking. And I'm looking at your numbers. Steady climb, steady
Yeah.
climb, steady climb. And you're skyrocketing. And it's like everybody's talking back and forth to you. So it's like that live that you said you didn't have people on. It's like I'm seeing hundreds and I'm seeing thousands of people interact with you. And I'm like, I'm gonna tell you sincerely and truly, and you know that I don't have to explain to you that I'm being genuine when I say this, because I was so happy. I probably ran around this house when I saw Coach Prime call you out in that news conference, because not only was it, because I was looking and I'm like, who is he talking about? Like when I heard him just say, yeah, because you believed in us, you believed in us the whole time or whatever, and I'm like, then when I heard your voice, you talking about, yeah, I did. I said, I know that ain't Colin. And then when he pulled you into that frame, I lost it. I was like, Lord, if there is somebody who does not believe in you, I just need for people to pay a revisit to Colin's story again, because we can talk about religion, we can talk about spirituality, we can talk about all of that all you want to all day, every day. But if you sit here and tell me that there's no God, good Lord, I'm going to send that video of you to them. Because how else can you explain that? This man is in a freaking press conference, Cole, and he sees you and calls you out. How you got to take us to what led up to that moment, and then after that moment, because I promise to God, like we literally saw the workings of God. Like if you just don't believe, I don't see how you don't. I just don't.
We in there, and the press conference, I'm waiting on him
to
come out.
In there? How did you even get in there? How did you even get in the press conference?
Well, I had been talking about him so long, and then Coach Prime had some meetings with me, like by Zoom. So he had meetings with me, and he had already been telling me, man, hey, I like how you interview my players, man. You all right with me. I can tell you from Florida. I can hear it in your voice. You a Florida boy. So and then every time he talked to me, he called me Life of Football. Life of Football, what? What's happening, man? And then we were just talking. And every time I talk with him, I lay back, because, reading in the Bible, you don't want to go into there doing so much. And then they like, man, I don't want this boy around me. So I just laid back and he asked me, the first time he ever talked to me, he said, hey, you got anything y'all want to say to me? I just said, like, they say, Colin, what, Life Football, what you gonna say? I was like, hey, well, what's the problem? I said, I ain't got nothing to ask you. All I want to say is thank you. Thank you. You've been a blessing to me. Like, me getting to talk about you been blessing my family. You've been adding to my life. So I ain't got nothing to ask you, man. I'm thankful to just be on here talking to you now. So he let it ride. So then he came back in. Anything else you got to say? Then I asked him a few questions, but I really kept it simple. And that second time we came back and he spoke with me, then I said, well, you know what? I'm gonna holler at him. I'm gonna ask him a few things. So we was just on there talking, and I was telling him about now that first time I met him, interview with him, the Zoom, I told him, hey, you know how I got started? I said, now I've been following you, but man, shoot, I say when Desert Banks took off, that was what video. I said, well, I'm gonna do another one. That took off. I said, well, I said, Lord, if I do 3 and it take off, I'm talking about Coach Prime every day. He bust out laughing. I was like, Coach, I've been talking about you every day. I said, it ain't stop. I'm talking about you every day.
Every day.
So we get to all that point, and then I'm trying to tell him, hey, Coach, man, I think I want to come to the game, man. So they say, hey, you gotta wait. I got time. So I was like, man, I'm trying to get in this game. Like, I want to get out there. So it come real close to the TCU week. God blessed me with connections up there that I didn't even know was up there until people went to telling me. So bless me with the connect. The connect hit me up and say, hey, you got your TCU stuff? I said, TCU? I said, nah, they done told me no. He said, nah, holler back at them. Holler back at them. Man, God worked that whole thing out. I'm talking about, man, we rolling on with TCU. So when I get to the game at TCU was like, hey, go right through here. And when I walk through, I'm like, dog, I'm right here where the players at. I was like, I ain't know they stuff like that, because at University of South Florida, it wasn't like that. You could walk in, but you don't see all the players like that. At TCU Stadium, the media automatically walks past all the players that's on the away team. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we get out there. We get out there, man, we talking. And it's so crazy. I'm just from Bartow, and God saw fit to shoot me to Dallas. And then let me tell you how I got to Dallas. I was on the lives, and I was telling people, hey, I want to man, me and my business partner might hit Dallas. I didn't even know I was going to Dallas till the middle of July. A guy named Tremaine and his company said, boom, we'll pay for your flight to go. Pay for my flight. God bless me. God blessed me, but not only he blessed me, he gave me overflow, enough overflow. Yeah. My business partner was able to get a ticket and a room off the whole deal. He didn't come on the live. I'm on the live that day. God see fit to overflow. Yeah. So I'm like, boy, ooh, you showing me something. You showing me that anybody connected to me, if I keep doing what I need to do, my overflow can be a blessing to them. So, boom, we rocking. And then we get up there. I'm on the field. God bless me when I'm on the field, and you know, everybody hollering at me, the players, because I done interviewed like half the team over the summer. So while I'm interviewing all the players, that's when I told you, Coach Pryor, said, hey man, I really love how you do with my players, man. You treat them good, you treat them kind, and boom, we up there. All the players come by dapping me up. What up, boy? What up, boy? So I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. Get to the end of the game, I'm like, man, I gotta catch my flight, but I want to try to catch Coach Prime. A piece of me said, hey man, just leave. Don't worry about it. I don't know when he's coming out. Just leave. I said, nah, I'm gonna go in there. So Coach Prime came out. I was talking to Carter Stoudemire, his mom and dad. Soon as Coach Prime came out, I told him, hey y'all, I got the deal. I'm gonna go in this press conference and holler at Coach Prime. I hit the corner. I was like, ooh, boy, I'm finna get that front row seat. I'm finna refill the thing. Gonna lie. All the people gonna love it. Man, I got in there. It was packed. So I said, God, dog, you can't demo the people because they already sitting in there. So you got to wait your turn. So I stood up on the chair, and as Coach Prime scanning the room, talking what he talking, I'm agreeing with him, but I can't say like, yeah, because if I say yeah, man, who that is? Get him out. So I was like, exactly. So I'm sitting at the interview, looking as he talking, and as he's scanning the room, he come my way, and I'm up top on the chair because I'm holding the other hand, this hand with my phone in the sky, like trying to make sure everybody on live can see it. So I'm like that, but I got this hand, and I'm like, yeah, talk that talk, boy, talk that talk. Yeah, that's when he saw me. He said, now a piece of me said, I wish I could get Coach Prime attention. But I couldn't get to it. So I was like, man, dog, I wish I could get his attention. Then a piece of me, something ran through my mind about the Bible. And I laughed because I said, remember that, I can't remember what the man was, but he needed healing. Yeah. His friend lowered him through the roof of where Jesus was at, or God, how his name was at that moment. But he lowered him through the roof because it was so crowded. Well, I was on the chair because it was so crowded. So I kind of laughed like, man, I want to get his attention to say something. But when he saw me, he said, hey, dog. I'm like, who, me? Me? He said, yeah. So as I'm walking down, I say to myself, this man called me down in front of his live interview. I'm like, oh, my goodness. What, man, what? Okay, so I'm going in. He, as I'm getting closer, I'm telling him I appreciate him. And then all I could think about was, man, you don't know how much I've been praying for you during the game. I've been praying for you to win. I knew that he had to have this win to set the ball in motion for him, because the media was just going crazy on him. So I'm telling people before the game, listen, y'all, I don't want to say it like that, but he need this win. Sonny Dice don't need to win. Sonny Dice just went to the chip, but he didn't win it. But he had a Cinderella season, so he done lived a good life. Not that it's over, but he done lived a good life. He could have managed a loss and keep on rolling. But Coach Prime needed it. I'm like, y'all, he need this win. God need to bless this man with this win. So as I got up there and he dapped me up, all like, man, I said, man, God bless you, boy. He bless you, man. You blessed, man. You blessed. By the time he pulled me in, man, I about cried. I'm like, because I'm thinking, wow, God, he called me up. He didn't have to
Yes, he
call me
did.
up. That's his day. He defeated his first Power 5 school at the school that everybody thought he was going to get blowed out and they was going to be trash. And he defeated the squad. And that's his moment. That's his day. That's his history. And he said,
Right.
man, come on up. Man, my sister them told me, Cole, you should have stayed up there long. I was like, nah, y'all just saw me boo-hoo crying on there. I had to slide back.
Yeah.
But I was so thankful for him that he did it. And I text my person, I'm like, man, tell Coach Prime, thank you. He ain't have to do that. He ain't have to. I truly thank him. And man, right? And I forgot we even talked when he was coming out. So as he's coming out the press conference, I'm back on my chair and I'm filming. He coming out and he walked past me. He like, he just talking. He dapped me up again. So I'm like, man, God, you so good to me. Like, what made you choose me? But I'm thankful he choose me. I'm like, Lord, use me. Don't ever stop using me. I ain't gonna hoard everything. I ain't gonna get all the love and hoard it up and don't want to tell nobody just like, nah, this for me. Nah, hey, get that. Y'all, hey, take this information. Go bless yourself. Go bless yourself. Go do this. Go do that. I told everybody, and start a YouTube. Get on there, talk about what you love, and roll that thing out. You can't lose with doing that. At some point, once you're doing that and you rolling with the God the right way, you trying to cut out these distractions. You trying to, because everybody could come at you. They could come at you with gossip. They could come at you with this, that, and the third. And it's all to pull you away from what you really want. If in your life right now, you ain't got what you want, well, you shouldn't even look at the distractions. But when the blessings start coming, you definitely ain't gonna want to look at them. So either way, you don't want the distractions, because if you ain't where you want to be, why even entertain a distraction that gonna pull you farther away from what you really want? So as I started realizing that, I'm like, Lord, well, forgive me for anything that I have done that's not pleasing to you. I want to please you, because the more I read the Bible, the more I see that when you do good and try to do good and stay in the right standing with it, you get more blessed. So I want more blessings. Now, I know we could say, well, these rappers, they got a lot of money and this, that, and the third. But, man, when they saying all this crazy stuff on these songs, they're not winning. They may look like they winning, but in the ballpark, when you saying all this stuff over and over and over, blank, this, do that, and this, and all that stuff be wrong, you ain't winning. Some in your life, you may not be, you might, out of 30 days, you feel bad 20 days. You don't know why. Because all the stuff you saying. Out of, and then you might be watching stuff. You saying, well, I ain't looking at nothing. I ain't, but, ooh, and now your eyes, now your mind thinking crazy. So the music got you thinking crazy. Your thoughts got you thinking crazy. Now all you producing is crazy stuff. So you can't win. So now once I got off that track, all right, man, I don't want to hear no crazy music. I don't want to see nothing crazy. I just want all good stuff. I only want good stuff read good stuff through my eyes. So when everything come out of me, it'll be good. And that's what I've been on.
I saw somebody in the comments, they gave you a shout out about your book. They said, because even in your first interview with me, you kind of skated over your book. And I'm like, Colin, like, what you skated over this book for? Like, do you realize how much of a blessing this book was for people? And even your page, the colinmore.com brand, like the power of positive thinking. So your book is The Power of Faith and Positive Thinking. And so, like, do you pull inspiration from that book still?
I actually, once I had moved away from it, my mind was set on doing my next one. And I keep telling my business partner, let's do one, but we never did it. So I started writing one, and I write stuff. And I got it in my email right now to start. I got a whole new book started. I just got to finish it. But I remember what I was saying in it. I remember one of the things I wrote in it. It was like, you got to have a plan or a system for what you want, because everywhere got a system for you. Everywhere has a plan for your life, but what plan do you have for your own life? Because the school system set up and say, hey, You start at kindergarten and you work your way all the way up to 12th grade, right? You could jump a few grades, but you can't jump a lot. You can't be a kindergarten saying, oh, they're so smart. You can send them to 12th grade. They not. They ain't letting that happen. So they got a plan for you. You go to your job, they have levels. You start here, then you go here, then you go here. Everybody got a plan for our lives, but what plan do we have for ourselves? So once I started figuring that out, I said, Lord, let me start putting together something I want to try to do. And if you see fit, allow me to do it. And then that's when everything started taking off. Like, this right here, easy to me. Looking at football, talking about football, reading the Bible, all this stuff easy to me. That's easy now. Like, that's why I figured out, once I figured this out, I said to myself, every person on this earth has a gift and talent. They already know what it is. People been celebrating them for years over those gifts.
Right.
Hey, oh, you good at this. Oh, you good at that. Oh, you good at this. But it's, will you take the ideal that match your gifts and put it out into play? Or will you chase money? And when you chase the money, you really ain't chasing something good. You falling after something that has no purpose. Money is just a tool to buy something or to get you travel to here to there, to get you in better positions, not to just hoard it all. But if you follow your gifts and talents, that's gonna put more money in your pocket than you could dream of.
Absolutely.
Because he already gave you something that's real good. So now you just gotta operate in it. So I get on camera and talk. This nothing to me. Nothing.
Yeah.
I could talk to anybody I come across. I just been like that my whole life. So that ain't hard to me. Telling a story and letting the story go from A to Z, that ain't hard to me. I thank God for that. So now I'm operating in my purpose, and I figured out college football and then talking about the Lord on the back end, which is the overall end.
Yeah.
It's not only blessing them with knowing what's going on with Colorado, but I'm blessing you in your personal life because I want to see you win. I don't want to get on here and you see me shooting up the ladder, and then you looking at, but dog, he blessed. But now you looking at me like, well, but I want to help you get blessed. So now when you come on, we both saying, oh, you congratulating me on what you see, but I'm also getting to congratulate you on what you doing, because you're going to text it in there and say, hey, I just got this brand new house. God bless me with it. Somebody wanted to sell the house, but they saw me and gave the house to me for $30,000. How much the house worth? The house worth $500,000. They just wanted to bless me.
So you blessings on blessings.
Never know how God gonna do it. Like, I didn't know Coach Prime was gonna call me. You know how many other people talk about Coach Prime? But he called me. So God decided to add that to me. That was added. I worked for it, but did I technically deserve that? No, God said, I got you. I'm gonna add this on you, boy. Bam. Now when I go to Colorado, the families that I interviewed, they sons and stuff, all of them love me. Colin, oh my goodness, life in football, we love you. Thank you for. But I rock with them boys because I know where they at.
Yeah,
I know they want to get the lead. I know that, but I also know if you don't have a game plan for if you don't hit that lead, life get hard. I don't want them to have that. So I want them already planning for what they want to do. Plan for what you want to do, because even if you make it to the lead and you stay till you 30 or 32, you gonna get up out of there. And in your 30s, you still young. And then you gotta think from whatever 30 something till the real world wants you to work till you die.
Right.
But if you use your purpose, you don't mind working till you die because you're doing your purpose.
Absolutely.
So now that's what I want people to go after, their purpose. Don't chase that dollar. That dollar can have you at a job that you hate. You could be making $200,000, but you hate that job. So you not happy, you miserable, but you paid.
Yeah.
Everybody looking at your car and your house, you paid, but you sick. Your stomach hurting, your chest hurting, you can't breathe. But if you go after your purpose might start you off at $10,000 a year.
Yeah.
But you got to work another job to maintain. So you good, but it's your purpose making you money. So you smile. Now I go to 15. Now it might shoot up to 50. Now it might shoot up to 200,000. Now you laughing like this easy. And it may have its ups and downs, but it's easy because it's your gift.
It's your gift. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, I know people, we say, and we make jokes about it, well, what was the prayer that Sierra prayed, to get her husband? But I'm telling you, like right now, I want to know the prayer that Colin prayed. And it's like you're giving us a blueprint, with the fasting and just telling us that it was God, and it is God. And that's why the first thing that I say in order to make a comeback, I feel that you have to have God. Like, and I'm not going to stray away from that. I'm not necessarily saying that I have to have a podcast that's a Christian-based podcast, but I am going to let you know in every avenue. I know for a fact that you have to have God. You have to have the right resources, but you got to know how to tap into them resources, and you got to be willing to do the work. And so, like, Colin, just like what's like a book of the Bible that you go to, like when you need that
what
that
got
motivation?
firepower to me? Well, what I go to when I really needed something at different stages of my life, Mark 11:22-24. Marcus Floyd brought that to me. Well, Dr. Floyd now. It's Dr. Floyd.
I know you could have corrected stuff because you did
it's
the last time.
It's Dr. Marcus D. Floyd. He brought that to He brought that Bible verse to me, and I took that Bible verse everywhere with me. So what I had learned in my moments of trying to make come-ups, every time I went after God, because I was at the wall. I was gonna fail. If I failed, my whole life was gonna go in a different direction. Once I figured that out, I was like, Lord, please don't let me lose what I have. I can't lose what I have. I prayed more. I speak Bible verses all day, every day. I ride to work and I speak a Bible verse 10 times. I speak another Bible verse 10 times. I would speak, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me, over like 10 times. Then I say, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. All your ways acknowledge him and he shall direct your path. And what that means is I can't figure out what I know, because what I know don't matter. What God know and what he want to give, that's what matters. I may be thinking I'm too small, I ain't the right this, I ain't the right that. And God said, no, boy, you everything you need to be. But see, if I lean on what I think that I'm not worthy of the dream that I'm dreaming, then I may not work hard for it. I may tailor off from it. But now that he keep blessing me and I keep seeing it, I see that the more I trust God, the better my situation get. The more I cut off distractions, the more the stuff that I know wrong and I push it off and I push myself away from it, the better my life get, the better everything start flowing. So once I started doing that, I knew that early when I was trying to make a come up, God has showed me that the more I chased him and the more I stayed with him, I get what I needed. But then once I got what I needed, I would slack off. I wouldn't holler at God no more. I'm like, hey, I'm good now, baby. Hey, thank you, Lord. I made it. Yes, I made it. Then I slack off. And then I got to a point coming into this year, I was like, Lord, I don't want to live like this no more. I know it's more for me. I know you got more for me. How can I get the more? And I don't want the more just for me. I want the more to be a blessing to my mom, blessing to my dad, blessing to you, Uncle Tony, Auntie Nisa, blessing to everybody that's connected to me. I don't just want the blessing for me. I want everybody connected to me to win. So once that started happening, I started seeking God more, and then stuff was falling into my lap. Go listen to this episode. Go listen to that episode. Go read this book. Go read that. Go read this. And then I just started gathering information. And then my life just started shifting. It just started shifting. Like, I tell anybody, man, get in that Bible and determine that you're going to read it. And that you're going to let them words, because he give you so many promises that it'll make you walk good. It'll make you have the right attitude, the right thought process, because he'll start letting you get these victories, and the victories be so good, it outweigh anything you ever done. That's why I say, if I could go back to college and do it all over, I would get in my Bible. I would get in my Bible and I would read. I would get in my Bible. I would read. Whatever I'm doing, which was football, I would give my best. And I would let the chips fall where they may. But I would give my best. You'll know I gave you an A game at practice. I gave you an A game in the weight room. I'm going to give you an A game in the classroom. And everything about me, you'll say, boy, that boy on point. And then after I keep reading, God will have it where you be reading something, then you'll be thinking, okay, it'll entertain the football. You'll say, okay, well, if I'm guarding this person, take a step back. The coach might tell you, be at 5 yards, but something in your mind, because you done kept praying and stuff, God tell you, take 2 steps back, and instead of chasing him as soon as he goes, just lag back a little bit. You don't even know why you doing it. You running the play and you lag back a little bit. the ball bounce off the boy's hand, you catch it and you score a touchdown. So you just never know. So I done realized the more I go after God, the more he bless me. And it ain't even about the blessings, but it is about the blessings because that's what we all want, to be blessed. But the more I seek him, the better I become, the better my life get, and the better overflow get for everybody that's connected to me. So that's winning.
Somebody said that's obedience, and that's absolutely obedience.
Yeah,
like what you are describing, you're listening to him every step of the way. Like, we'll say, God, please guide me, please guide me. And sometimes we don't listen to what he's saying. And sometimes we find it hard to listen to what he's saying because we haven't fasted. We haven't done anything to clear our mind to really, really hear him. So you are preaching now. In that last episode, you said, I ain't trying to be a preacher. Look at you. Listen at you. Look at you.
I really not, but I just know how I'm winning. So I want everybody else to win. So if I read the Bible, pray more, and fast, and I started winning, and he was giving me the ideas. What was the odds I just happened to see that Desi Banks did that, and then I happened to take the ideal and do it? It came after fasting. It didn't come before fasting. Nothing that happened to me happened before I started fasting and seeking God more. Nothing. Everything. Yes, I got a lot of blessings in my life, and I'm totally thankful for them. But the route that I'm on now, I ain't never seen this route before. Never. I have never really been in a point in my life where people want to take pictures with me. Now, people want to take pictures with me. I'm like, I ain't nobody. I'm just getting used. He can do you the same way. So
no, listen, you are that dude. Like, I want you to win so bad. Like, I don't know how many times that when I posted the video of you and Coach Prime, like, it's like people just, I'm like, I don't even know this person, and they've shared it. This person has shared it. This person has shared it. And again, that was confirmation for me that I was like, yeah, God is doing something with Cole.
Right.
God is definitely using Colin, and I was like, good Lord, like I'm praising him, for your success, because I was just so happy. And aside from that, it has nothing to do with just that particular moment, Colin. And I don't, you may get some new people that may gravitate towards you because of that. But for the people who have been rocking with you for so long, it's just like, oh my God, like God is showing out like this, because you've been in it. It's not like it's just something that you started.
Yeah.
Like you have been in it. Like, y'all started the podcast in 2018. You've been in football all your life. That's been your passion.
Right.
You've always tried to look for something that you want to do. You want to have your own business, and you've been consistent. Like, that's faith without works is dead. And it's like, you've been faithful and you've been working. And so I keep hearing you say that I'm gonna bring my A game. I'm gonna bring my A game. Like, this will be an A day. Like, you still rate yourself that way? Because I remember you saying, like, you set a goal for that particular day. And
I still be on
it. Like, you still give yourself a report card.
I go, like, every day at the minimum, I have to get 4 lives out. If I don't get 4, I gotta get 3. I get less than 3, I was trash for the day. I gotta get 3 to 4, but I started looking at it different. I started seeing everything different. It was like, when I get to go on there, I know I'm gonna feed them the Colorado information they want to hear. But I also know I get to talk to them on the back end. That's gonna be a blessing to their life.
Yes.
So I just tell them things that encourage me. And I take that now as that's what it is. Like, that's how I see it. Like, that's how I operate now. Like, the main thing is the back end. How can I be a blessing to you? How can I be a blessing to you? Like, how can I help you win?
You certainly are. If you ask yourself that question, just by you being you, you know what I'm saying? Because who created you? God created you. So you are a blessing already.
Listen, while I was reading the Bible said that, goodness, this is what I thought about one day.
Okay.
I got mad at whoever started a 40-hour work week. I said, who started this stupid mess? So I went and looked it up. I looked up where it came from and everything. I said, who started this?
Yes.
The 40-hour work week. I say, you don't get to see your house, but for everything is rushed. Like, once you get a 40-hour week, your life dedicated to that job. And I say, man, crazy. 40 hours to a job every week. You get home, you got a few hours, you got kids, you got homework, eat, pays, do it again. Homework, eat, pays, homework, pays. I said, this ain't how I'm supposed to be living. So then I thought about the disciples. I said, hold on now. You got these men rolling with God. They ain't working no more, but they working. But they ain't working, but they working with the words. So I'm like, well, Lord, I want something like that. Like, let me work with words and go. But I said, I ain't no pastor like that, but let me work with the words and you bless me. So I was like, these dudes ain't worrying about where they stay, what kind of car they got, what kind of clothes they got. They had a roof every night. They had food every day. They never went without. Then I read in the Bible where people would sell their stuff and bring it to them. They ain't do nothing. They brought money to these people. So I say, well, Lord, you bless them like that. Listen, man, God been blessing me so much. People just, they bring it to me. The people, the people, they like my family. They pretty much are family with me. They told me, Colin, I want you to go to every game. At first, my wife heard me say one night, I said, y'all, I hope I go to a game. I hope. If it's God, I hope. My wife heard me. She said, Cole, stop saying you hope. Go get you a ticket. Go to the game.
Right.
And so I was like, you're right. I called my homeboy, bro, let's do it. My homeboy said, which is Robert Chung, he like my business partner and brother. He said, let's do it. Man, we booked that stuff so fast. I was like, oh, Lord, I'm in there. So I got back on live. I said, y'all, my wife told me to book something. I booked, we coming. Then after that, they blessed me with tickets to the TCU. After that, I got ready for the Nebraska game. I got a little nervous about it last week, which happened just this Saturday. But I bought the Nebraska game the week of TCU. I was talking to Mr. Richard because, you know, he's my barber. I'm like, you think I ought to hit it? Man, I don't know. He said, you got to go, boy. Boom, I bought the ticket. Boom, I hit it. The people love how I tell the story so good that they say, Colin, we want you to go to the Oregon game. I ain't never went to Oregon in my life. I ain't never traveled this much in my life. All this happening because I'm seeking God. I'm doing stuff I ain't never did in my life because I'm seeking God. So this whole month, every weekend, I'm gone. So I get to Oregon game, and I told my dad, I said, Dad, they want me to go to Oregon, but Oregon tickets so high. I said, Dad, I could probably go to the Arizona State game. It's cheaper. My daddy said, no, Cole, you go to Oregon State, son. You go. I said, all right. Right after I got off the call, they sent me more money. Boom. I say, well, I'm going to Oregon State, baby. I mean, Oregon. I said, I'm going to Oregon. Check this out. I'm looking up tickets. I can't book my tickets. Let me tell you how good God is. This live action right now, what's going on at this moment in my life currently. I'm trying to buy me a ticket for Oregon. The Oregon ticket is so high to get a flight out there. I say, this is stupid. Sean said, Simo, check to see if you can go somewhere else for cheaper. I checked to see if I can go somewhere cheaper. I can get a ticket out there for Oregon for $200-some. There and back. There and back.
Oh, wow.
There and back. When it was initially telling me it was going to cost me about $800. A ticket there and back for $200. Ain't God good?
Yes.
So my dad on the phone with me today, he said, son, boy, you need to go to every game. I say, that's what I'm talking about. You talking my language now. You see what I'm seeing. So it feels good that people are starting to see my vision of it, and they rocking with me. So he said, son, go out there to every game. I said, that's my goal. I said, I asked God, allow me to get to everything I want to get to, and I ain't worried about how it's going to get paid. I know God going to take care of me every step of the way. I ain't worried about how this whole thing going to get paid. It will be paid in full, and I ain't going to have nothing, no bill, no credit card bill or nothing for it. It's going to be paid in full every single time. Watch how God do it. I'm going to be at every game unless God see fit to change it. I will be at every game. Watch it. Every game.
And you will. And you will. I'm listening to you, and I'm like, you speaking something. You speaking it into existence, and it's going to happen. I feel like I know that it's going to happen. I have, like, I like organic conversation. So I don't necessarily write down questions, etc. But I know I had a direction of where I wanted this episode to go, which really was organically. And I cannot stop you. Like I don't even want to defer to questions that I was like, I may ask him this, or let me tell you why I gotta keep listening to you, because my 2-year podcast anniversary is approaching, and I keep putting it off because I'm just like, oh my God, this costs what, and I just don't know if it's because people saw the success of it the first year. I'm being like taxed double for stuff, and I'm just like, whoa, time out, Lord. Like this particular time of my life right now is not really where I need to be coming out the pocket for stuff. But it's like I keep hearing a voice. It's like, what you afraid of? Like I'm giving you this vision, what you afraid of, and it always happens like that. It's like literally somebody has to push me. And so to hear you continue to just say over and over, you're fasting, all of these things that you're talking about are things that I have been pondering, things that I've been just sitting on the cusp of, like, Lord, I've never tried this, but is it going to work? Like you literally have hit on everything that I have been stagnant with and questioning and all of this stuff. And all you're doing is painting for me a roadmap of trust God. Like why would you not? Like, trust God. Like, look at me, trust God. What else do I need to say? How else do you need to see it? So I'm not even changing the direction. I'm not even, you hear me? I'm not even changing the direction of this conversation, because I feel like it's so needed. I feel like when people come back and they look at it and they listen to it, you are gonna bless them with everything that you stated. And I'm thankful for it. Like I'm thankful that I have people like you in my life. Like the other people are fine, but I'm talking to you right now, so I'll just directly focus in on you. Like, I'm so thankful for you. Like, I'm so thankful that I can just text you or call you. It's nothing that I've ever called you or asked you for, and I'm not prideful, but it is pride. I'm gonna say pride. I don't ask for stuff, but it's like, anytime I will, you because you thought like we was going to go to a studio and all that stuff there. I'm like, nah, we chilling today. But you said you were just like, where we meeting? Like, it's just like a phone call, and it's like you're there. And it's like, to have those people in your life like that is priceless. And I thank you for that sincerely.
Check this. You just made me think of something. How about when Coach Prime was talking to me one time? He told me, he said, listen, man, I love what you're doing on your interviews. But he said one time he coached me on what he saw and he laughed at. And then I took it and I stopped doing what he laughed at. And I knew I had did it, but I didn't think nobody paid attention to it. But somebody who wants to be at the top and excel, they pay attention to everything. First, back off, they'll let stuff slide. So that's what I started learning. You can't let stuff slide. You got to get to the point, and you got to make it on point every time. So when he told me that, I never went back to what I know I had did wrong. If I laughed, I was like, oh, he was really watching me. And he said, yeah, I saw you. I ain't never went back. And what that brought me to is that you got to take that. People got to take coaching when they get it, for somebody who really trying to see them win. Now, if it's a random joke, they're like, oh, yeah. You might could listen to it, but still take an ear to it. See if it's good or dumb, and you'll know to push it away or not. But if it's good, keep it. When he told me what not to do, I had never did it again. I'm talking about never. Like, never. I didn't even attempt to do it no more. But I laughed because I said to myself, I didn't think nobody cared about that. I just said I could do what I kind of want to do on that part. But he saw it. He QT'd, but everything else he said was good. So I was like, all right, I'm good. So what I realized was, when my wife used to ask me why on the podcast I never interacted the way I do on live. And I said, I don't know. It's just, it felt like I was kind of boxed in. But when on live or my interviews, man, I just do me. And that's everybody like when I do me. So it's not hard to operate in your gift. That's why I come back to operating what you love. Whatever you love, that's the lane. Like I was reading in the Bible, it say the whole body, everything need everything. My eyes need my nose need my mouth need my ears need my head, my hair need the head, my head need the feet need the ankles, everything connected need everything. Is one more important than the other? No. Everything is getting used for different things. So me in college football, God need me there for that avenue, for people in that world. God may use you in a different world. God may use this person in that world. So a nurse might be over there doing her thing, but she blessing them. A teacher might be over here doing her thing, but she blessing them. The NFL player might be doing his thing, but he blessing them. And it's body is, and we all in one body.
Yeah.
So we all, wherever you at, that's your ground to serve.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So the more you serve, guaranteed you're gonna get blessed. It just the serve come with the blessing. So I see all this and I tell everybody, y'all, this ain't never happened to me in my life. This only because of God. So you gotta tap in. I know you can see people winning that don't tap in with God. They may look like they winning, but I know for a fact in the back end, they catching some trouble. Some big boy.
Yeah.
Not that a person that's trying to do right won't catch it. But I ain't gonna catch what the one who consistently doing wrong, who consistently know they out there doing wrong, just balling it wrong. Yeah. Oh, they gonna feel something that I ain't gonna feel. and so, you know, I don't know. That's just where I've been at with that. That every time I seek him to win, I won. Now is I seek him just to win no more. I just seek him consistently where I stay in the right space. Yeah. Do I read the Bible and hit every day of my 5 days? No, I might read 2 and miss 3, and then I gotta catch up on the weekend. So I still get it. So it ain't like but then I said to myself, Simo, nah, you can't do that no more. You need to hit it every day that it's supposed to be hit. So you ain't gotta catch up no more. Yeah. Just I realized this. The more I stay prepared, I don't have to get ready. I remember I used to hear people say that you got to stay prepared so you ain't got to get ready. Well, now I'm ready for whatever come my way. Yeah. I'm ready. Absolutely. I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
Can I leave you with, I want to leave you with this observation that I have. I have always said, because you know that one of my passions is education. Yeah. And I have always said, if I could find a way to encapsulate the zeal and the determination and the passion and the faith that athletes have for making it to the league or for being pro athletes into education, like I would not have to work a day in my life. Like if we could train kids to have that gusto for education, like they do for sports, and then how their parents go on that trajectory with them for sports, I wouldn't have to work a day in my life. And I say that because I'm going back to the people that I have come in contact with, the people that I've interviewed on this podcast, and just looking at how much you love football and how I think those principles correlate in your life. Right. I've interviewed Freddie Stevenson, and Freddie Stevenson has had a tremendous work ethic, you know, like when he was on top. Just reading about in and out with talking with Marcus Ford, but you know, we all grew up with Marcus. Yeah. And talking to and interviewing Lance Leggett, you know, just learning about what his work ethic looked like. Right. Bam Bryant, you know, what he's instilling into his players at Mississippi Gulf Coast, and him just inviting me to even speak to his players just opened an opportunity and a door for me to just see some things. But what I've noticed is that with athletes, that level of confidence, that level of thought, that level of effort and commitment is unreal. And I have so much respect for athletes. They don't necessarily even have to be professional athletes, but just the ones that are on the ground and they have that goal to be an athlete. And so my question is, how has being an athlete, and you've been in it, you know what it takes because you're immersed in it now, you know, as a career, like how has that helped you in your business world and in the way that you think on a day-to-day basis?
Just following Coach Prime this whole time, he set the bar so high that you have to operate at it you got to set the standard so high for yourself that you operate at that level versus operating at a fallback default level, which is average or okay.
Mediocrity. Like you just don't serve in that.
You doing enough to get by. Because I done heard some say, they'll be talking about me. They'll say, yeah, I don't know how he go live so much. I ain't got that much time. I say, well, hey, I looked at my life in the past and where I'm going.
Right.
What I see in the past, that ain't do too much for me. What I see coming up, boy, you ain't getting me to stop. So I grinding. Well, I don't even like the word grind. I'd rather keep working and working smart and asking God for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, asking him to bless me with opportunities falling in my lap, asking him to with big boy blessings falling in my lap, where I'm still doing stuff, but he's giving me stuff too. So that's where I'm at with it. Like grind, but take your level up to like get out there and work so hard that everybody see it. Like they like, whoo, that boy be out there. He out there. He don't miss a beat. It's like I miss a beat. They ask me, hey, PJ, I won't. Hey, listen. They ask me like, man, if I miss a day, they like, bro, where you at? What you doing? And then like, cause I leave. Me and my wife got a vacation this weekend. Well, Thursday to Monday. So they said, well, what we gonna do without you? But my wife said, Cole, I got your internet out there so you can have it while we on the sea. And I'm like, all right. But I said, I want to kick it with y'all. She said, yeah, but go on do your thing. Go on do your thing.
I love it.
People are coming into my life, in my life, and they're telling me stuff. And I have to ask God, like, Lord, please let me be listening to the right stuff instead of the wrong stuff. And I hear them out to see if it's going the way that I'm trying to go. And if it is, I take it. If it's not, I kind of look at it and just, well, Lord, you got to tell me what that means. Why is this person coming to me with that? Because, you know, they could come with the good, they come with the bad, they come with the middle ground. But I'm just trying to see everything that's helped me going forward. But I know now, if you don't go get it, you ain't going to have it. If you don't go get it, you not going to have it. If you don't think you can have it, you not going to have it. If you don't think your life can change, your life not changing. If you think it could change, guess what you're going to do to make it change? You're going to operate there. If I want to lose weight, I can't eat pizza, donut, cookies, pizza, donut, soda, Coke, pizza, donut, soda. I can't eat all that. All that. Then I'm out of gas. If I want to be that athlete and I want to be fast on the field, can I look at the boys who run track second semester and say, oh, I ain't running track, but I want to be fast? No. Bless yourself and get out there on that track. Now, you should get faster. If you start eating better, you should start losing weight. If you start walking more, you should start losing weight. You start stop sending dumb texts to people and start saying, you know what, I don't want to mess with this person no more. I just want to do this. I want to do the right thing. Boom. Now your life started getting better. You wonder why you start with it. It's because you started to do better. So it's all in what you want. You want to do better, go do better. You want to sing. You want to draw. You want to be a nurse, be a nurse. Go be what you're trying to be. Because God never told you had. This is what I figured out one time. When I worked like 3 dumb jobs, I realized that God never told me to go to them jobs. I begged him to let me get And when I realized that, I was like, well, why I'm begging for stuff that I don't want? Because I was chasing money. Now, I only come to him with what I want. That's it. I ain't coming to talk about, Lord, just help me pay this light bill for this week. Lord, help me get by this money. He looking at me like, boy, do you know I could give you 10 homes?
Absolutely. 50
homes and have the light bills paid for you. But you just asking for a light bill to stay at a job you don't want. But come on, baby. Thank you. So I ain't with that no more. My dream's so big. Man, my dream's so big. It's people don't want to hear what I dream about. They'll think I'm talking a certain way, but I just feel like it's so much more God can provide. And I want all that. I want everything. You know how they say you got a blessing with your name on it. I want everything that got my name on it. Ship it. Matter of fact, don't ship it. Have a special delivery spot on when it's supposed to be my time to have it.
Absolutely.
So that's what.
Absolutely. Listen, Colin, thank you so much for being my special guest for episode 95. Like, you definitely have blessed the Jazzy Conversations with Jazz podcast tonight. Like, you have dropped so many gems, and I know you've offered so much motivation. I definitely tell everybody how they can keep in contact with you, how they can listen to the podcast, how they can keep up with all of your lives. Just promote yourself. Like, how can we keep in contact with you?
Well, we got the me and my business partner, Mike Figures, we drop a podcast like in a business setting every Friday. We drop one every Friday with people all over the country and local as well, from high school to the pros. We drop it all, and that's on Fridays. And then I go live every day. I'm there every day. You catch me. Just turn on YouTube. I'm on your tube, baby. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere until God say go somewhere. I'm here. I'm here. I ain't missing out no blessings. I'm getting all mine. And then we got the Twitter, Life and Ball, and then we got the Instagram, Life and Ball _ So I'm locked in. They ain't got to tell me. I'm performing every day. I tell people now, I miss going to the NFL, but best believe I ain't gonna miss this opportunity. I already got man. Listen, it's the NFL, but the NFL gonna want to do a lot of stuff with me.
Yes.
Then I'm gonna get to rock me a helmet. Hey. I don't know who helmet I'm gonna put on. I'll put on somebody's helmet. Listen, when I seen Kevin Hart at the St. Louis, the LA Rams or St. Louis Rams, whenever he did it, I was like, this man don't like football, not like that to play. I don't remember him talking about he played wide receiver or nothing. He played basketball. So I said, don't worry about it. Somebody gonna be calling me. I'm be rocking the helmet too. I might not get an official NFL check for playing, but they gonna give me an NFL check.
That's right. You probably see my little red hair coming out of a helmet too. I'm gonna be there too.
Listen, we gonna get there.
Listen, I know that's right. Oprah, Cameron Hall, couple of guys.
Hey, check this.
Hey, Sherry, all of them.
Check this. I was listening to Miles Monroe, man. The man's so smart. Now he done passed, but God let him leave so much information. That's what changed my life. Listening to Miles Monroe and that fasting episode. Y'all go look up that fasting episode. That'll change your life, because the man be speaking facts. And you see, man, the man said that he wanted a jet, right? A private jet. I don't know if it's a private jet or jet, whatever. He wanted a jet. He put it on his prayer list and told God, thank you for my jet every single day.
Yeah.
Do you know, after about a year, a man walked up to him, said, here go your jet, gave him a jet. The man didn't have to pay for a jet, didn't have to struggle to have a jet to look like he balling, gave him a jet. I ain't worried about how God, hey, listen, it ain't my way to figure out how God gonna do it. He just give me the dream, I gotta operate the dream.
Absolutely.
I don't know how he gonna do it. I'm operating the dream. That's all I'm doing. And that's what I want everybody else to do. Operate the dream. Whatever he giving you is built for your gifts and talents. So you gonna win.
Absolutely.
And it's gonna be easy to you. Now, you have some ups and downs, and it might feel a little rough, a little tight sometimes, but for the most part, you're gonna be winning, and it's gonna be off what you already good at. They done told you your whole life you good at.
Yeah.
So I already expect God to just bless me. Like he said, listen, some things you don't even have to pray about. Do you pray that your car crank up in the morning? No, because you know you got the gas in it.
Right.
But if you put some apple juice in it, you ain't got to worry about praying. That cough in the tail. If it's coming, so you ain't got to worry about how to do it. Just go do it, and he gonna open up doors. So nobody could have. Last year I went here.
Yeah.
I was just, well, hey, wasn't really hitting my Bible like that. Wasn't really praying like that. Just was, Lord bless